Hi guys, I'm just going to do a quick review of the 2026 Gold Cup. Brought the betting up. We got Galopin de Champs, his current favourite. Best price 6 to 1, as low as fives. I think that's fair. He's a worthy champion, 2 times winner, good comeback run last time, and his favourite for the DRF. Speaking of the DRF, I probably should have left this review to afterwards, but I'm trying to find a price that may change after the DRF. And Galopin really could be one of those horses. If he wins the race easy, 6 to 1 is going to look massive. I think he'd probably half in price. I think come the day at Cheltenham, it may drift back out again, but sixes is probably as big as it's going to be if it does win at the DRF. Django Bay's second in, 7 to 1, 6 to 1 in places. I don't need to talk a lot about this horse. Most of you know I've already put him up at 50 to 1. 7 to 1 is still a good price. I'm pretty sure he's one of the horses that will get backed on the day. I would, however, advise to hold on now to the non-runner no bet. You're only going to lose a point or so, and you're guaranteed to get your money back. Third in is I Know the Way You're Thinking. As big as sevens, as low as fives. Last year's winner looked impressive. This year, the total opposite. On what we're seeing, I can't see how it can be as low as fives. If Cromwell gets it back to the fitness and the form it was in last year, brilliant. But for me, it's not a bet that sort of price. Next in at 7 to 1 is the Jukebox Man. A little bit of eight still about as well. Ran a brilliant race. I couldn't see it winning the King George. I was dead against it. I think Ben Jones gave it a fabulous ride. He had it in the best place all the way through. And when they surged from the last, although he went down, I think he had a little bit left, and I think his speed got him home. I do, however, think that in another few strides, at least two of the horses would have gone past him. Two that I think are better stayers. One of them is Gaelic Warrior, best price of tens, as low as sevens. Uh, Great horse. I think he's going to be in the first three or four. Home, if he goes, he may drop down a distance. But is he going to be the stable second string? If he is, that means you've got the second string jockey riding. And I just think at that price, it's not a working man's each way price. And I just think there might be one or two that may get home in front of it. So I will give that one a miss. And to be honest, it's the same sentiments with Jukebox Man. He's just not quite an each way bet for me. And the other horse, I think that would have gone past him, and I think was the best there, is going back to my old friend Django Bay. The next one is a horse I like as well, Grey Dawning, lowest tens, biggest 12s in quite a few places. I do like this horse, and if you're on it at bigger prices each way, fair play to you. I can't back him each way myself. I will, however, if he's still around the 12 to 1 on the day, possibly have a little bet on him. I think he's the type of horse he could come there, still on the bridle, and just do a little surge at the end and get himself home. I do worry if it came to a dogfight, if this turns out to be a big field and a fast run race, whether he will get home in that type of race. So for me, I'm going to just leave him and possibly just have a little bit on the day. Hattie Couleurs is next in at 14 to 1. How can you not like it? It's what a lovely horse, gutsy, very, very good handicapper. Definitely deserves to take the step up to this sort of grade. And I've got friends that are on it at a much bigger price, and fair play to them. 14 to 1 is too skinny for me. If it runs well, it runs well, but I'm not going to get involved at that price. Affordale Fury hasn't been on my mind at all. But you can't knock the way it ran at Christmas. It's beaten a decent field. Didn't like the way it jumped. It has a tendency to run to its right and down its fences. Heaven knows how easy it would have won if it hadn't done that. Maybe that's just his trait. Sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. I wouldn't be wanting to back him in a championship race on a left-handed track with him doing that. The 20-1 is tempting, and like I say, you can't take anything away from the victory. He could pop up, and I wouldn't be the most shocked, but I'm happy to take a watching brief on him for now. Spindlebury is next in, 33-1 chance. It's got an entry. It's also probably going to be going for the mares, and I would quite fancy her for that. I'm prepared to give her a miss on this race, though. Next we come to Iron Maximus, mostly 25s, a little bit of 33s. Decent horse, ran really well last time. Doesn't always back his races up, though. Goes in the DRF. If it runs another good race, then he could be an each way value. It doesn't inspire me. I don't know what else to say about him. Then we come to Fast or Slow. I like this horse. 50-1 still, and certainly on my radar as an each way bet. He ran in the Gold Cup in March of 24. Was travelling well. I think he went off about 8-1, and unfortunately it fell. Was still well in the race at the time. He then came out and ran at Punchestown and reversed the form with Galloping the Champ. Didn't run again till November of that year. Ran a decent race over too short a distance, and I presume it must have picked an injury up because it didn't show again until November of last year. It's ran third behind Factor File and Gaelic Warrior. Admittedly 20 lengths, but it was over a much too short a distance. It stepped up and ran over Christmas in the race that a lot of these have gone in, and again travelled well, turning for home. I think he's just got tired. They pulled away from him, but he's a stayer, and he probably was lacking a little bit of fitness. And I think 50-1 is a huge price. I obviously are putting him up now before the DRF. I think he's about 20-1 for that race. If he runs well, then the 51's going to go. It's a big if, but if it runs bad, I mean, you're on at 50-1. It's a long shot.
Appreciate it. It's wide open over the second last. Fast or Slow jumps back to the front. Being followed by Conflated. Galopin des Champs is ridden up in between them to try and close down to the final fence. And it's Fast or Slow, the leader. Fast or Slow, JJ Slevin over the last from Galopin des Champs, who's trying hard in second place. But it's Fast or Slow from Galopin des Champs. It's going to be the same result as last year. Fast or Slow pulls off a famous double in the Ladbrokes Punchestown Gold Cup. Again down in Galopin des Champs and Hewitt. Gentlemen's game, appreciate it next.
The betting on Banbridge is strange. You've got as low as 20s and as big as 50s. There's such a discrepancy. I think it's down to the fact that it's a talented horse. Doesn't seem to show it at Cheltenham, or he's very grain dependent. I think you've got to give that one a miss just on what we've seen so far. Lecky Watson is decent. Won the Brains last year. I don't know how good that was, but he's also not shown a lot this year yet. Next in is Nick Rocket, which is a very admirable horse. I just don't know it's going to have the class to win this race. In Perry Pass, I like a lot. I just think he prefers a flatter track. He has run well at Cheltenham, but his preference does seem to be for Aintree. And then I go on to the last one I'm going to talk about, which is Monty Star. One of those horses has sort of got under my skin. I backed him last year. Huge prices each way. And as usual, when you're on huge prices each way, they come fourth when you've got the first three home. He's just a very likeable horse, though, and has got a touch of class about it. Watched his race over Christmas, and it's been held up and it's been brought through reasonably eye-catching, actually, without being given too hard a race. 66-1 is still available. I've had a little bit of that, but I've also got a gut feeling that they might also be thinking of the Grand National with this one. They can get his weight right, and the handicapper isn't too stupid. We could have a good run at Aintree with him. Um, I've already bet him. I think I've got 50s and a little bit over. Um, I say long way to go. A lot of other horses to run. I guess if it runs well on the DRF, they'll continue down the Gold Cup route. If it doesn't, then let's hope we get a nice handicap mark and go to Aintree.
To try and take it up round the outside of Sandor Clegane, but here Mark Walsh on Fact to File between them. Giovinco in the blue behind these two to jump now. At the second last, Montes Star, Fact to File, Sandor Clegane, Giovinco still running on. Final fence, Fact to File lands in front, lands by 2 lengths. Montes Star in second, Giovinco in the blue still running on. Sandor Clegane behind those. It's hands and heels for Fact to File and Mark Walsh as he comes to the line to win the Brown Advisory. Second to go to Montes Star. Giovinco, massive run in third place. Sandor Clegane.
Yeah, the idea behind this review video wasn't necessarily to put up a winner for you. I still think the winner will probably come from the first 6 or 7 in the betting. They're only 6 or 7 points apart, and it's very difficult to find value against them. Obviously, as I've mentioned, I think 3 or 4 times in this video alone, I'm on Django Bay, and I still think he holds his place in the market at the right place. He may even come in. But the idea was to find something that may, with a good run at the DRF, shorten. So the two I put up at 50 to 1 and 66 to 1 are the two that I pinpointed. Like I've said, don't go silly on them. They are long shots for a reason. I'll call it a day at that. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and please like and subscribe and everything, and put some comments up if you've got on some at big prices. I'd love to hear about it. We're all here to beat the bookies. So, yeah, well, thanks again, and I will speak to you soon.